Welcome back to the Canto Drama Club. Episode 10 of Modern Dynasty is out, so I'm going to give you my top 10 moments from the episode as well as breaking things down. I'll be doing videos for all of the episodes, so make sure that you subscribe to catch them all. This episode picks up with the accusations that Daisiulai had for Sammy and her brother. Sammy has rebuttals for all of the points that are fired her way and actually shoots back at Daisiulai. Even the part where Daisiulai accuses Marco and Sammy for having some potential relationship going on. She even pulled out the evidence on her bidding for the ticket for the Broadway musical The Cats that was on, that they went together. Then Marco also confirmed that his tickets were also gifted to him by a longtime company partner, which, of course, the rest of the family members do know. At this point, Daisiulai looks really dumb as she fires a bunch of accusations, but none of it is actually factual. The two of them, trying to set up this whole ploy to weasel out the spy, backfires on them tremendously. I actually kind of feel bad for Daigok because I think he's actually a pretty good guy, but his wife is just poisoning all of his thoughts, and this is the end result. You play with fire and you are bound to get burned. At the end of this conversation, Sammy says that she will no longer press any charges on Daisiulai's company, but in the next 2 years, the company will not handle any of Masi Zaptun's projects, which is huge because I'm not sure what other projects they're really getting aside from theirs. To add insult to injury to Daigou's family, Maka Loya reassigns Thomas to head this construction project to decrease Daigou's involvement with it. So I guess that analogy from the previous episode makes complete sense now. Thomas just had to stay clear of any trouble and just weather the storm, and by doing this, Daigou dug himself his own grave, which automatically elevates Thomas to the point at which he's in now. So what a start to the episode. Daigou finally speaks up to his wife after she throws a major fit. He's about to lose everything, and all because he listened to his wife. In the previous episode, he already said that he's not used to setting people up and doing all these sneaky things, and at that point I already knew that he was a good person. Even in earlier episodes, they said that he was the one that pretty much puts family first amongst all the three brothers, so he himself has never been a bad person. I think it's just what his wife has been poisoning him with in his mind. And actually, Thomas doesn't feel good about any of this either, which is actually a good sign. Actually, I don't think any of the brothers inherently are bad. Maybe Joe is because of all the kind of scumbag things that he's done. But actually, Daigou and Thomas, I feel like they are inherently actually pretty good people. It's just that their wives, unfortunately, have been tainting their minds and clouding their judgment. Fast forwarding ahead a little bit, Sammy goes to visit Joe and tells him the results of the ultrasound. It's a boy! Oh man, and Joe is so excited. He stands up, and guess what? The guard's like, sit your ass back down, get into that chair, and be quiet. So I guess this is happy times for Sammy and for Joe. They now have a boy coming their way as well. Sammy, again, is gonna join Chloe in the club for having babies and having boys. So they are really going at it neck and neck. At this point, Chloe should be ahead still, so she should still have the boy before Sammy does, but oh man, this is once again something where Sammy and Chloe are going to be competing, because if they both have boys, then of course they are going to be head to head battling it out all throughout their lives. Back at home, Loya and Lai throw a barbecue for the family to celebrate Sammy's big news, but at this party, Lai is confiding in Loya and telling him that maybe it's not so good of an idea to give the head of the charity event over to Daisiulai. So when Chloe overhears all of this, this is very big news for her because this might be her way to weasel in. Also at the party, we find out that this Bu Kaofu has a bit of a gambling problem. Seibatman is the number that he needs to borrow from Lai Lai. And this theme will definitely come back around later, so let's stick around for that. Back at the office before Nick was going to hand in his employee pass because Sammy essentially kicked him out, Marco calls him up and actually offers him a position to assist him. The top lawyer goes to visit Joe and tells him about a trick to sway the retired driver. He definitely didn't get to this position without using some dirty tricks. Alright, So the trick was to frame the old man's son for getting with this underage girl. This underage girl was, of course, some mobster's sister. Right on cue, right after they do it, the mobsters come in, and look at what happens. They are going to frame this guy so hard. So back to the previous point about this Biukaofu. This uncle goes to visit Joe in jail and tells him about the good news, but also casually drops this line that he doesn't have a lot of things, but the things that he does have a lot of are a lot of hingdai. So I think that mobster was one of his guys that he had found to set this guy up with. So the lawyer probably spoke with this uncle and set up this whole scheme together. He also casually asks Joe if he can borrow that seibaman as well. So what is this guy up to? All right, Nick and Judy appear to be hitting it off. Who else is shipping these two? I mean, don't they look cute together? Laughing, having some boloyao, and just enjoying an afternoon tea together. Living the life. Back at home, Lai Lai, Dai Sulai, and Chloe discuss what mascot they should potentially choose for this charity event that they're going to host. Dai Sulai suggests the dog, and Chloe suggests the tiger, so they are conflicting. Chloe says the dog is too plain, and suggests this tiger is more suitable for the reputation of Maka. I say, why not a horse? Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think the mascot should be. Shouldn't Maka have a shouldn't they have a horse representing them? I don't know. That's just me. Maybe just the way that I look at things are a little bit too simple. Lai chooses to side with Chloe and chooses the tiger instead of the dog. But when Sammy shows up and asks, oh, what are they talking about? Lai actually asks Sammy what she thinks is a good animal. And guess what? Sammy chooses a dog, and she chose a dog without knowing that Dai Sulai chose a dog as well. So when she says this and actually convinces Lai to change her mind, of course, Chloe gets super bitter again, because once again, she's slapped in the face with another moment where Sammy can just waltz in, say one thing, and that's it. The whole entire conversation is switched over to whatever Sammy wants. Oh my goodness. So this is a huge moment. Dai Sulai goes into the kitchen to find Sammy struggling with the stovetop because she does not know how to use a stove. Anyway, she says a bunch of stuff, but finally gets to her point. She brings up some things to Sammy, all of which point to how she could possibly know who her brother is. She's never met him before. There's no way. So she says, Sammy, who knows you the most? Who knows you well enough to provoke you? Who knows to get this type of reaction out of you? Her implication this whole time is pointing to Chloe. She never says Chloe, but she does warn Sammy about people who may be plotting things behind her back, especially now that she has a baby. Back at work, Marco overhears some employees talking about the uncle's gambling problem. So guess what? Time for him to take action. He invites the uncle out to drink some nice expensive wine. And after just 2 glasses, this guy is a lightweight. He gets drunk and is best friends with Marco apparently. And Marco, of course, baits him into talking about some gambling. And the uncle says that he's done with gambling and that he got the Seibam on bail from Joe. Of course, Marco asks how, and it's because he dealt with the retired driver situation. He was the one behind all those sneaky tricks. Well, guess what? Marco himself is pretty sneaky. He recorded the whole conversation and now has evidence to hold against Maga and this Biukaofu. The episode ends with Marco saying to himself, if Maga Loye doesn't respect brotherhood, he will also not hold back when it comes to Joe. This series just keeps twisting and turning. Alright gang, if you enjoyed that breakdown, smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to catch my next video. Let's try to get this channel to 100 subscribers by the time this series ends. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.